Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast, where we share strategies and support for artists to thrive.
We know that the art world can feel like a lonely place, and we want to provide a network of support, impactful strategies, and an abundance of encouragement to help you grow your authentic art career.
We're your hosts. I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Kaylan Butine, and we are also the co-founders of the Thrive Together Network, a community of female and non-binary identifying artists and artists who are caregivers.
We truly believe in community over competition, and we're so glad you're here. Enjoy this episode.
Welcome to another episode of the Thriving Artist Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kaylan Butine, and I am the most confident about my work when I finish a full collection. I get it all photographed and I sort of see all those different pieces like working together. They feel harmonious and it's like, wow, I did this.
I love that. Yours is sort of after the process. So yes. I'm Jamie Smith. I'm your other host, and I'm most confident when I've worked through my symbols and ideas fully before I start the piece. I actually need a lot of thinking time. So we work very differently, but I love that we can have these conversations about our work because this is the artist shop talk.
That's right.
So amazing, right?
That's right.
So today we're talking all about confidence. And for me, this has been a long time. This has been a journey. It still is, but it took me a very long time to find sort of my artistic voice. And I still feel these ups and downs as being an A-type creative. Yes. And confidence is a big part of this. So I'm excited about this episode.
Yeah, I hear you, especially with Instagram and social media. We just see so much good art all the time. It can feel really hard to continue to stay confident in our own work. I feel like there is room for everyone out there. I want to see other people making art, but sometimes it makes me not as confident in my own work, right? And we have talked about this topic a lot. So we just want to bring all these sort of bits and bobs of conversation about confidence and really name it and bring it into this one focused place. So today is 5 strategies to have more confidence in our art. I love this. Jamie, why don't you start us off with number 1?
Yes. So before I jump right into number 1, I thought, we love our metaphors here. They're often wrong. Like we use sayings that seem to not make a lot of sense, but I think this one does. So I feel like confidence is a muscle that you have to build over time.
Yeah.
I don't think you're just a fully formed, confident artist. I think that having confidence is something that you build, and there's different like workouts and routines you can do to make it quicker and easier to build that muscle.
Okay, so are the 5 strategies we're going to share, they're like what you do when you go to the confidence building gym?
Yeah, they're like jazzercise for confidence.
Ooh, I love it.
I know. So I kind of think of them as like jazzercise, dancing butterfly, muscle moves, something like that. Okay? So think of that. I just wanted to have everyone using that lens. You're a butterfly, jazzercising. Okay? So your first strategy to have more confidence in your art is to travel back in time. So I love this one because I think with confidence, it's all about facing forward. It's all about thinking that I'm not these things or you're being unsure. But if we go backwards a little bit, you have a story of growth. You have a story of accomplishment and already so much confidence. So again, this sort of like context that you can use is just so much better in building that muscle.
And this just, I could cry like really thinking about this because I think what you're inviting us to do is not always be about the next thing that we have to produce or accomplish or the next goal. We really try to emphasize this a lot with our network members. We have all of these sessions about reflection, about pausing. We have quarterly sessions called celebration and centering where it's like, no, stop what you're doing before you move on to the next thing. Let's have these markers where we can say, okay, what did I just do? What have I done over time? What growth have I already experienced, right? And just kind of grounding ourselves in that time travel, going back in time, I think is just such a beautiful way to start out our conversation about confidence. So thank you, Jamie, because what it does for me is it reminds us that we are enough. We've already done so much work, and exactly who we are in this moment is enough for the kind of artist we want to be moving forward, right? So number 2, our second strategy to have more confidence as an artist and about your work is to write about your art. So taking the time to think about your work, what you're really saying, will then help you be able to speak about it and share about it more confidently. And confidence really is connected to this speaking and sharing, right? It's the words that we're putting behind what we're saying about who we are and what our art is doing in the world. So really taking time to think through your concepts and ideas and do a lot of writing about it can help you feel more confident.
I learned this from artist consultant and a good friend of mine, Penny Lang Chin from Dazed and Confucius, and they work with artists, hundreds of artists all over the world. And she calls these ideas and concepts behind your work your meat and potatoes. And I have found a lot of confidence in what I do by really spending the time to figure out my meat and potatoes. What am I all about? And I will say this doesn't have to be groundbreaking or overly personal. Your meat and potatoes could be about the process you use, the materials. Like I know for you, Kaylan, your process is so fascinating to me, and how you bring materials together. There's a lot of meat there, you know, and also your work is very personal. There's a lot there. And so I think it's so easy to, again, these push forward thinking,
right?
Push to be what you're not doing. This is where confidence gets kind of, put down. And instead spending time writing about what you are doing, where you've come from, what you are doing can help build those butterfly jazzercise muscles.
Well, and it makes me think too of our North Star activity, which is a freebie that is available on our website, thrivetogethernetwork.com, which if you go through that activity, it's also included in our Thriving Artist map that all of our network members get. But going through that North Star activity can help you kind of identify what your meat and potatoes are, like what the big important work that you're trying to do in the world is. And it is literally a writing exercise that can help you clarify that. So if you want that, it's one way to kind of build your confidence is to get those ideas in writing. We have that freebie available for you on our website if you just go to our freebie tab. And again, it's called the North Star activity. So let me move us on along those lines of writing about your work. Another strategy for having more confidence in your art is to know where you fit into the canon, right? This will most likely come up as you write about your work. And it is really important to know your historical influences, to know those other artists who are making work like you are, who are pulling from the same materials and speaking about the same things, right? Just this idea of knowing where you fit in, knowing where you come from as an artist, and then literally mentally putting yourself in this canon of your art history heroes, right? I think that builds that confidence because you see these other people who are making work about the same things, and it just is very validating. It puts that capital A on the word artist.
Yeah, I love that. And strategy 4 to have more confidence in your art is to get feedback. And this, I think, sometimes is really scary for artists because this is where we think of feedback sometimes can actually set us backwards in confidence. But we are recommending a safe space for feedback, a building relationship way of doing feedback, because we work in isolation as artists. And it's so easy for our inner critic to take over, our insecurity to thrive on our own. But when we're around other people, like we believe in the network and having artists around us, we start to connect, and it just helps us build those confidence muscles. Another thing that you and I, Kaylan, are really proud of is our Crit Crew program. And that is actually you're buying into an experience, a 9-week experience to share about your art and really make sure that you're getting supported through this feedback process.
Yes.
And the more we talk about it, like you said, we put words to it, we claim space as an artist. Those are confidence building acts.
Yeah. And I just want to plug episode number 25, which was something along the lines of 5 ways that critique can change your art practice for the better, or something like that. I know it was number 25, but that was such a good episode where we do talk about how critique can support and, encourage you rather than like tear you down. So it is a big element in this idea of building your confidence. And of course, Jamie and I are really proud of the Crit Crew program because it's just so supportive, and it does build confidence and helps you identify yourself as an artist, right?
Well, and we do a finish up survey of that program, and the word confidence is thrown around so much. It helped that 9 weeks help build confidence. It's a really a big part of what we hear from our members.
Totally. Okay, so number 5 in our 5 strategies for having more confidence in your art is to keep going. Nothing builds the confidence muscle. Remember our little butterflies at the gym? Nothing builds that confidence like time, being consistent, going again and again, right? Continuing on this journey of learning, of improving, of making the work, and really practicing a growth mindset alongside of that helps you focus on those improvements. It's just really big and it's really impactful.
I've been thinking a lot about this growth mindset with confidence, and a big one that keeps coming to mind is a friend and artist, Sandeep Johal. She said that the biggest stride she made in her work and her art career was when she shifted from being her biggest critic to her own biggest fan.
Cue the tears.
I know. And that shift in mindset, it's a shift in confidence.
Yes.
And it makes you show up, and it truly, those things are an unstoppable combo. And it's possible. Like this confidence is something that I think we can forget about, but it is sort of the backbone of what we need to kind of create this sustainable art career and successful art career.
Yes. Beautiful note to end on, Jamie. So let's confidently move from being our worst critic to our biggest fan. I love that.
Great.
Thanks for the inspiration, Sandeep.
And, we are going to continue. Little butterflies. We are jazzercising. We are working on that muscle. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen as you continue to show up. And we are going to keep showing up for you. We are here for you. We are cheering you on, and we believe in the work you are doing as thriving artists.